What's up, podheads?
Whoa.
Live from Rob's basement.
This is my job, Rob. This is what I do.
Already stepping on feet.
Hey, how's it going, podheads? Tony here. Another episode of the Podioslave podcast. I'm a little thrown now because Rob stole my thunder, but Rob and I are doing a solo me and him ep in the basement in person tonight. How you doing, man?
First time for this.
Yeah, it is. And we've been on the radio together before because you've been gracious enough to have us in to do the album of the day on WCYY and or the artist of the day, whichever you. What is it now? Is it artist of the day now?
So I'm kind of blending them both.
Nice.
Like today I did the album of the day because it was the 29th anniversary of 311 self-titled. Not sure when you're listening to this, but it's mid-July and it's hot as hell.
It is hot as hell.
Here in Maine. And depending on where you're listening in the country, it's probably hotter than hell.
I know, right? We're like one of the...
We're like the cooler spots.
Yeah.
And it's like 88 with the worst humidity ever.
It's nasty for us. I mean, we're used to 40 every day.
Right.
So
not that we're complaining because we'll be wishing we had this in January. But
and it'll be gone in a week because that's the thing about it. It's here for a little while. But yeah, you're right. It's the middle of July. We're in the basement where it's a little cooler but still sweating. And if you know your 311, then you know what day we're recording on because it's the 29th anniversary of 311 self-titled. But yeah, so we're going to do a couple things. We're going to catch up a little bit here. A couple shows we went to and then ones we've got coming up. And then we're going to dig into Loudwire put out an article that explained away some of the rock bands that have over 1 billion streams on Spotify, which we found to be kind of interesting. So we're going to dig into that a little bit. So yeah, we just actually last week saw the Used and Story of the Year right here in Portland, Maine at the State Theater, which was a throwback.
Dude, that totally brought me back because I haven't seen... I couldn't tell you the last time I saw like a early 2000s emo show.
Right.
And it brought me right back and it was awesome.
It was amazing. I mean, we went out to dinner before. I had a little bit of a crisis with my insulin pump because I'm a diabetic, but we figured it out.
We all thought you were going to die and it kind of ruined the moment for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, but we figured it out. We had friends at Gritty McDuff's who helped us out to figure that problem out. But then we ended up, running up to the state and catching the end of the Story of the Year set and then the Used set in a packed State Theater, which I don't think I've been to a show like that in the State Theater with that many people in it since probably 2017. And
that's what we were talking about was there was no doubt there was going to be a decent attendance for this.
Right.
But the fact that it was nearly sold out or potentially maybe even sold out was pretty mind-blowing and pretty awesome at the same time.
It was nuts. And this was July 3rd. And then they went to Pittsburgh for a little bit, played in Canada, and then they played Hampton Beach last night, which I almost went down to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, I missed Story of the Year. I kind of just want to go down and catch them because we didn't get to see all of that. Yeah, and it would have been fun, but I'm like, no, I just did it, and we got a bunch of shows coming up, which we'll talk about in a bit. But it was a total throwback to see that place full with all the people that we would have been at the same show with in 2003 when they played there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so those same faces, so they were there.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great show.
The big difference for me was in 2003, I heard your voice in the back.
Oh, Jesus. Were you really going to tell this story right now?
And I was like, that sounds like Rob from CYY. Sure enough, I look back and there he is. Like, oh man, it'd be cool to be friends with him.
I thought you were going to talk about the part where I was singing Blue and Yellow.
No.
Oh, okay.
You were just excited about the song, and so was I, because, I mean, that song's great. And we didn't get it this time, but I just remember that moment and being like, I know that voice. And then we had that happen that night last week at pre-gaming at Amigos. We had a beer and somebody was like, I recognize your voice.
Yeah, it happens.
You are a local celebrity.
It happens.
Being on the radio for a long time in our town will do that, but it was cool, and then I get to go to the show with you, so we are friends now.
That was awesome. Yeah, we've been friends for a very long time. Throwing that in. God, 20 years.
Yeah.
Close to it anyway. Yeah.
20 years and 1 million shows and more to come, which is always fun. But
yeah, what do we got Sunday? We got Counting Crows.
Yeah. Yep.
At Thompson's Point, which is going to be awesome. It's still going to be hot because they have predicted the humidity is not leaving for like another month or something, but that'll still be fun.
It'll be at night. It'll be outdoors. There'll be a little breeze down there. That's a perfect venue for Counting Crows. You kind of greased the skids on that one. I'm gonna pat you on the back a little bit there.
Oh, I rallied so many people up for this show.
Yep.
And there were a couple of people like, I hang some of my younger friends and my friends Joe and Marcus in particular. They're still, I think around 30 or so. Mm-hmm. and Joe looks at me and goes, what does Counting Crows sing again? And I was just like, oh God, dude. And I had to break out the catalog, and he goes, oh yeah, let's go to that.
Well, it's funny. You don't realize how many big songs they have until you break out the catalog. And
absolutely.
I had this conversation with a good friend of ours, Parker, last week, because he's going with his wife, and he was like, you know what, man? Like, I like Counting Crows. I've never like actively put them on, but I'll listen to some live stuff here and there. And I'm like, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna know 75% of the songs.
Absolutely. And
be like, holy shit, I love this band. Where have I been?
Yep.
So excited to see them. I know tomorrow night, I'm going to see Spose in town.
Spizzy.
Yeah, catch up with the homeboy Spose.
We've had on the show a few times.
Yeah, I think he's been on 4 times. Not as many as you. I think this is either 11 or 12 for you now.
Still number 1.
Still number 1. Yeah, Greg Bergdorf number 2. I think that might be. I don't think anybody else is close to you guys. So you're far and away number 1 now, I think. Sorry, Greg. Rob's got you by about 5 episodes.
And then there's one person that I've been trying to get on the show forever, and he's not even a musician, but he's just a legendary record rep who's responsible for the success of many bands and the reason for many shows. And he's been doing this since the 70s. We got to get Andrew Gavazzos on this show.
I know. We really do.
And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. No, hold on, let me get the Gavazzos. Yeah, I'll do it. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, But Gavazzos, get on the show. Let's go.
Well, and doesn't he have a little project he's putting together too?
Well, it's actually already out.
Okay, yeah, then it's time.
Yeah, we got to get him on. I
didn't want to spill the beans on that. So maybe in the future, there'll be an episode with Andrew, and that'll be a lot of fun because there's some cool stuff there that he's been, front row and center for.
This is going to be, if you see Andrew Gavazzos on one of the pod episodes, you need to tune in because this guy has he's lived it.
Yeah.
I've lived it, but this guy has lived it.
He's got another 10 years on you.
More than that.
15, yeah.
It's more than like 20.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
25. I don't want to age you, bro. Love you. But yeah, we got Counting Crows, and then we have another busy week the following week, which is your birthday.
Yeah, my birthday week. Yep.
We're going down to check out Blink at the home of our Boston Red Sox, which are very nice to host awesome acts when they're not playing. Blink 182 is going to be awesome. I saw them with Nate.
Yeah.
I want to say
05?
it was probably 05 maybe.
Yeah. I've never seen them.
It was that self-titled album, I think.
I've never seen them.
And that blows my mind right there.
It's my fault. I mean, there were chances and I just said no and thought, they'll be around forever.
And then they broke up, and then you were like, oh, shit.
I'm an idiot, yeah. But finally, going to right that wrong and be down at Fenway the week of the 22nd to see them.
And then we're going to take the train back to Portland, which actually drops us off at Thompson's Point. Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to literally find a place to throw our bags and go watch the Flaming Lips.
Exactly. Which, I mean, if you've followed the podcast at all over the years, you've seen some of the videos we put out of seeing the Flaming Lips, whether it be meeting Wayne Coyne backstage in Boston, having the hamster ball roll over us in Portland. It's just an awesome show. They're doing Yoshimi in its entirety at Thompson's Point on a Thursday night, which will be an absolute blast.
It's going to be amazing.
That week I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
And I think we have a week off from concerts after that. I think
about a week. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, I tweeted out the other day, and this is just on a whim. I thought it was funny. It's been 5 days since I've been to a concert. I'm jonesing like too many days in a row. I need to see live music.
Yeah, remember COVID? It sucked.
Yeah, exactly. So especially after being in that room at the State with the full capacity, and then seeing so many familiar faces, I'm excited to do it again.
Absolutely.
All right. So what are we doing tonight?
We're gonna get into this Loudwire article. So they put out. It was like the article was like 40 plus rock artists or rock songs. I can't remember that have over 1 billion plays on Spotify, which is that's quite a feat. That's quite a feat. Absolutely. Couple things to mention here. They did mention, which was good to mention. I don't think they were shitting on the bands, but they were saying, rock is a broad spectrum. So we're going to leave out, certain bands, such as Maroon 5 and Coldplay and the Goo Goo Dolls and Imagine Dragons. So they don't count.
A little more pop than rock.
Yeah, exactly. So these are rock bands.
Although Goo Goo Dolls, I think, should still be there, but that's me.
I agree, because the Goo Goo Dolls started in rock and had many alternative hits.
They were on Metal Blade Records, for crying out loud.
That is how they started. Absolutely. So yeah. So we thought we would highlight some of these songs, and we would talk about, you and I, and I think we'll start this way. You and I, and we haven't talked about this song specific yet, but we talked about what we're going to do here. There were some songs that we were surprised
Totally.
that were on the list. And let's just throw it out there. It doesn't mean we think these songs suck.
No,
we were just surprised that they were on the billion play list.
Yeah, there are a few that surprised me. There were a few that I wasn't surprised the artist was there. I was surprised by the song too. So
right,
we're gonna dig into that first, and then we'll give our some of our favorites and ones that we're still not sick of, even though they've been played a billion times.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you start with a song that you were surprised about?
Can I just pick an artist?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
I've never understood the Arctic Monkeys. It's just not for me.
Well, that's a good place to start because, well, I'll let you go into because you probably know where I'm going with this.
I'm just shocked. I think they have 5 songs.
They're tied with Queen
and Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think too.
And the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Did the Chili Peppers have 5 too?
4 or 5, right around
I thought
there.
the Chili Peppers had 4.
Either way, they have a lot of songs.
So the Arctic Monkeys are tied with Queen. Fucking Queen.
I know.
As the band that has the most 1 billion played spins, and I get that they're from the UK and they're probably bigger than they are here, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I knew 2 of those. I'd never even heard of 2 of those songs.
I knew Are You Mine?
Yeah, the 3 big songs from the AM album were on there, but the other 2, I don't even think I knew what they were.
No, and maybe they were big on TikTok. I don't even know. I know.
I don't even think it's TikTok, dude. I think it's the UK.
It could be. But there's, how many people are there? 1 billion streams?
Yeah.
They've probably been put on a lot of playlists, which helps too. But 5 songs at a billion streams is nothing to sneeze at. That's wild.
I guess it just goes to show that, I knew the band was probably bigger in the UK than they are here, but it just goes to show you that they're probably monstrous over there. They have to be.
Yeah, and I think they've had decent success here too. I know people that ride for them. I know Spose. The aforementioned Spose is a big fan of that band.
Yeah,
I've just never understood them. It just doesn't. Not a knock on them. Not for me.
I'm mediocre with them. I like a couple of their tunes.
Stuff.
They're not my go-to band to listen to.
1 billion streams times 5. Just those
5
songs.
tunes. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that was my first head scratcher. But I mean, good for them. I mean, make the money, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a couple here, and we don't have to spend a whole lot of time because I want to focus on like the songs that we love and whatever. But Fall Out Boy, Centuries.
So I would have thought it'd be Sugar. We're going down.
Absolutely, and I do remember it was several years ago. I do remember there was a big article. I believe that Centuries was the first song on Spotify to get 1 billion plays.
That's crazy.
Which is weird to me because it's again not a terrible song, but is it like, and that's something we should think about. Maybe we can figure it out right now, you and me. What is it about that song that is so special?
Well, it's funny. We brought Fall Out Boy up in our mailbag episode a couple weeks back, Anthony and I. And we had a question, where do you guys stand on Fall Out Boy? And I just said I've never actively put that band on, but they seem to be around, and I know words to 10 songs.
Yeah,
which just means they're everywhere, right? They're if I'm not putting them on and I know the words to 10 of your songs, you're doing something right.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But why Centuries? That's a great question. It's very theatric.
Yeah,
it works for sports. It works for a bunch of different things. So it's probably something because of that. I'm sure it's all over TikTok too, which it can be the reason for a lot of things nowadays. Is if they're on TikTok and they're counting those as streams, then boom, there you go. You're gonna get there pretty quick if people are using your song, even if it's just a snippet of it in videos, and those videos go nuts. There you go. How's it work for you? Is that a band that you actively put on?
Yeah, I don't actively put them on, but I also don't mind them. They get some catchy tunes. I'm cool with Fall Out Boy for sure. I interviewed Pete Wentz and Patrick Stump back in the day.
Yep.
When they came to the Pacific Center here in Portland with the All American Rejects, and that was a monstrous show.
Yeah.
That was a huge show. Sold out, and no, I've always been cool with Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
for sure.
they make very catchy, very popular rock music. So good for them. So the next one for me that I was kind of surprised. I guess if it was this band, this would have been the song I would have thought would have been 1 billion.
I think I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how they got. Who?
Do they wear makeup?
No.
Okay, we'll get to that then.
All right. No, Hoobastank's The Reason.
What song would you think would be over 1 billion?
No, I think The Reason would be the one. I just am surprised that it's at 1 billion.
Oh, 100%.
It feels like a lot of spits.
And I'll let you, no, totally. No, to that point, and they highlighted this in the Loudwire article, Hoobastank is tied with the Beatles.
Crazy.
for both having a song that has over 1 billion spins. So with the Beatles, to be fair, I think there's two things with that, and I'll let you get back into the reason.
The reason is you.
Thank you. I think the reason with the Beatles is they just got their music on Spotify probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So there's a millions of plays missed right there.
Totally.
And let's be honest, the huge Beatles audience is still spinning their vinyl at home.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
So, but I just thought that Here Comes the Sun and the reason.
Yeah. You know, 1 billion. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was pretty cool.
Great Beatles song, but there's 1 million Beatles songs that I feel like should have 1 billion streams maybe before Here Comes the Sun.
But Here Comes the Sun, no, I don't know, man.
Here
Comes the Sun is like one of my top 3 Beatles songs.
It's an amazing song. Yeah. You know, and I'm happy that it's at 1 billion. And you're right. It's because the two-pronged thing there where they weren't on streaming for super long. And you're right. A lot of the Beatles fans are probably either, if they're really modern, are listening to a CD in their car or spinning their vinyl at home. So it doesn't happen
Sounds
on
like
Spotify.
They should have let George Harrison have the microphone a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah. But hey, cool that they've got one, but so does Hoobastank.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I thought this one, when I said makeup, this one shocked me. Kiss. I Was Made for Loving You.
Great song.
Great song.
1 billion streams.
But when you think Kiss, what do you think?
Rock and Roll All Night.
Absolutely. Yeah. You would think that would be the song.
And I'm gonna give you the deep dive. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. God Gave Rock and Roll to You is the song that I want to hear, but it's not 1 billion streams worthy. But yeah, it doesn't make sense that it's I Was Made for Loving You. It would
apparently that's a bigger Kiss anthem than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not Love Gun. Love Gun shouldn't have 1 billion streams.
Right. There's a lot, but
you ever seen the movie Role Models?
I don't think I did.
Great movie. If you haven't seen it, Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd.
Oh well, I'm in.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah, so that's one that makes some sense that they have one, but it doesn't make sense that it's that one. I had one more that was like that.
And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this while you're thinking. I was just going to say there's a Måneskin song that I've never heard of.
Yeah, and there's one that I've heard 1 million times. Begging,
yeah. I want to be your slave.
Never heard that. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. So Begging was all over TikTok when it came out, so that makes sense to me.
For sure.
Same with Fleetwood Mac's Dreams. That guy who did the video where he's pouring the...
How basic! It was amazing.
It blew it up again. It gave it new life. And I mean, it's an amazing song. And Fleetwood Mac has an amazing catalog. So I'm happy they've got a couple on there. But that's the reason Dreams is there.
Thank that dude on the skateboard for your 1 billion spins on Spotify.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Give that guy a couple of bucks. Get him a new skate.
I hope he got a couple, but I'm sure he did.
He probably did. Yeah.
That just from his video. Yeah.
But we talked about that in the moment because I remember saying to Nate and Anthony at the time, and this was probably like early 2021, that we're going to see more of that, where a song just takes on a new life because of a viral video. And we never really saw that in the teens or the aughts of 2000. But now we're going to see it all the time.
We didn't see a lot of things.
That's true.
Back then.
That's true.
Cell phones, text messaging. I could keep going on.
Yeah, you're right. And we're old, is what you're saying.
Yeah. We don't need to spend any more time on that.
No.
Let's jump into the good stuff.
All right. I'm a little... good stuff, but also not surprised that In the End by Linkin Park just hit it maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, that just hit it. Okay.
Or last year sometime, maybe. Yep. I'm 100% sure when, but it's fairly recently. But then they have Numb and then Numb Encore.
I saw all three of those were on there.
Yeah, which, I mean, I love that mashup Collision Course record with Jay-Z that they did. Numb is a great song too.
I think you got your rock fans and your hip hop fans.
Put them together. It was smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was, what was that, 2005-ish?
Well, Meteora came out in 03, so yeah, it was probably around there. Yeah.
Let's mash up these two massive artists and get everybody on board together. I mean, it was the modern day Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Cool stuff. And love Linkin Park.
Yeah, absolutely. The few that I have to spotlight here, it was hard to pick and I have to throw out there just to pat myself on the back here. There's several of my perfect songs.
I know.
That have been played over 1 billion times, which might mean that I'm got the perfect ear. I don't know.
You do.
You're supposed to disagree with me on that.
It depends on the song. What song are you talking about?
Well, my favorite song of all time, and it's become cliche, but I always say it's my favorite song of all time because it's the song that truly got me into music, and it changed my life. And of course, I'd heard, Billy Joel and the Beatles and Bob Seger, Around My House. But when I discovered MTV, this band was blowing up, and Living on a Prayer from Bon Jovi changed my life. So
totally.
But the three songs that because I had to pick three. That's what we do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to narrow it down, and I'm going to say that these are multi-generational songs. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why. You've got your older and younger audience listening, and that's absolutely attributes to the over 1 billion spins. And Living on a Prayer is definitely one of them.
Absolutely. And you hear that one. That's another one of those songs that just has been everywhere for 40 years, close to it, whatever.
I play that at a wedding, still DJ weddings every once in a while. Don't call me to DJ your wedding.
DJ'd mine and then retired.
I'm trying to. I'll help you buy or sell a house, but that's about it.
Yeah. Realtor on the radio, at Realtor on the radio.
Thank you on Insta. Welcome. Appreciate that. But yeah, with Living on a Prayer, that's when I play that at weddings, you've got grandmothers on the dance floor and you've got teenagers on the dance floor. It's multi-generational.
And everybody knows the words.
Everybody knows the words. Exactly.
Great fucking song. So yeah, happy that one's there. I'm going to highlight a trifecta here because it just proves to you how amazing this record was in the late 80s.
So wait, all three songs are from the same record?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Not yet.
Well, Hair Metal with an Edge, kind of the end of an era. You're in the jungle, baby. You're going to die.
Absolutely. Those were all from the same record.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
Really half of Appetite for Destruction is
Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child, and Paradise City.
Yeah, amazing. And the fact that Sweet Child being almost 7 minutes long, having over 1 billion streams, just amazing. What a great record, and there are amazing songs on it left and right. But
one of my favorite albums of all time, Appetite for Destruction.
It doesn't miss really at all.
I think that was the only album that I ever got taken away from me when I was a kid. And I was let's look back on that. I was like 10 and I'm like, look what's out there now, Ma.
I know. Totally.
You're going to take Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction away from me?
Give it 3 or 4 years and Two Live Crew's having trouble. And
yeah.
Then you get the gangster rap of, East Coast, West Coast stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I just really dated myself too.
This isn't that bad comparatively.
Seriously.
But great record, and not shocked that there are 3 songs that are in the billion streams club from it. So,
and so my next up is this is one of my favorite albums, one of my favorite artists. I guess you could call it a guilty pleasure, but Bryan Adams, Summer of '69.
Great song.
Multi-generational. So that's the theme that I went with. This is that everybody knows it, all ages. Everybody knows the words. It's catchy. It's nostalgic. Mm-hmm. Everybody can relate to it. So that one did not surprise me to be on the 1 billion list.
No, just an awesome song. So yeah, that
and
makes
oddly enough,
sense.
the fourth single off of the Reckless album.
Wow.
4 singles deep, which is I have always found, as a music nerd, I've always found that to be really interesting.
Yeah, why wasn't that first or second?
You had Run to You and Somebody, which is a great song.
Yeah.
I love that song, but I wouldn't think that would be the.
Well, then you get a monster on your hands.
Right. And then he releases Heaven, which everybody knows Heaven. And then Summer 69 was the 4th out of, I believe, 6 singles off that record.
And everybody knows the words to that. I mean, everybody got their first real 6-string.
Yep.
So,
and where did they buy it? Do you know?
At the 5 and Dime?
That's probably where they got it.
I think so. Yeah. Now we're dating ourselves again.
No, we're dating Bryan Adams is what we're
also
doing.
True. If you're listening to this and you're half my age, our age, you're probably like, who? But you probably still know a couple words from that song.
You know Summer of '69. Everybody knows that song, even if you're 12.
Yeah, toss it on. You'll be like, oh yeah, I do know that song. All right, I'm going to go with a couple of bands that give you kind of 2 together just because they're together on the list because of Alphabet and Together for me growing up. Foo Fighters Everlong and Green Day's Basket Case.
Classics.
Yeah.
Timeless classics.
When I saw the Basket Case being the 1 billion, I thought to myself, I'm a little surprised, but then I tried to figure out what else would be like When I Come Around, maybe? No. American Idiot, maybe. And that's probably close. But Basket Case makes sense. It's quick. It was on the radio. Everybody knows it if you know Green Day.
100%. I think what happened, I've always found it interesting that Longview was the tune that opened it up for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think what happened was mainstream radio saw, oh wow, this this is cool. Like, this band is cool.
Definitely.
And then when Basket Case came out, that song even got played on pop radio.
It was everywhere.
When I Come Around was the big pop song because it was more, radio friendly or whatever. But hearing, Basket Case definitely really launched those guys.
One perfect fit for radio too. Like quick, fast paced,
punchy
energy. Yeah.
Yep, there it is. I'm looking at it right now. 1,087,300,110 spins.
Do you see, is American Idiot there?
It's actually in second place.
How many?
This one, if we were to do this episode in like 6 months, this would be part of the billion club.
Yeah, that one doesn't surprise me. Just that riff.
I'm actually kind of, well, I wouldn't say surprised. Boulevard of Broken Dreams, I thought was like the more universal, like,
Yep.
Collectively mainstream song, but that's still it's at 821 million.
Oh, that'll get there too.
Yeah.
If that one came out and had the moment that it did on radio 6 years later, that's probably their most spin song on streaming.
And Good Riddance actually, okay, so Good Riddance has 697. See, that kind of surprises me a little bit.
I would have thought more.
Because that's such a theme song, graduations and wedding anniversaries.
I'm gonna date us. The Seinfeld farewell.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I love looking at the Spotify spins. I nerd out on it, and I'm like, really, that got more plays than that did? Like, I love it.
We love the numbers. We love digging into the numbers when we do these. So
charts, numbers, all about it.
When you sent this out, this is an idea. I was like, this is perfect because we'll have some fun with that. And then we didn't really talk about Everlong too much, but I think.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about Everlong.
I mean, I think. We were trying to remember perfect songs. I thought I had them all, but I may not. That may have been one that you picked on a Perfect Songs episode back, one of the 3 that we've done. That song is absolutely amazing. I don't know that you could get a better Foo Fighters song. I'm not shocked it's at 1 billion streams. Great fucking song.
We talked about that before we started recording. I thought that I had that on my Perfect Songs.
You may have.
But I could have sworn I did. But yeah, it's an absolutely perfect song.
I'll fact check that later, and it probably is there. If it isn't, DM me. My bad. I'm sorry. All right, what else you got? One more.
So I'm going. My theme is multi-generational. Just to chop it down here because there's so many on here that are well deserving of being played over.
Nickelback, How You Remind Me,
1 billion times. That doesn't surprise me.
Me either.
It doesn't surprise me, but not on my list. So I'm gonna compare this band to the Arctic Monkeys for a second because Arctic Monkeys had 5 songs.
So did Queen.
This band had 1.
Oh.
Granted, this band is from the States. Arctic Monkeys from the UK. I don't know if the UK has more Spotify listeners, but I was very surprised to see that Arctic Monkeys had 5 and this band had 1. And their song doesn't surprise me because it is one of my favorite songs of the 21st century, and I dub this album as my favorite album of the 21st century.
Yep.
It's Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, Mr. Brightside.
Hands
which is
down.
going to just go nuts over the next 10 years because it gets played in every stadium ever, and people sing it at like sporting events, kind of like Seven Nation Army did 10 years ago.
Yep.
Where you hear that kind of dun, dun, it's the same idea. You're going to hear Mr. Brightside. It's ubiquitous at this point, and it's you're right, it's a great song off a great album that came out in the early 2000s, and it just continues to kind of grow and become part of the culture. And this is going to come out in July, but 6 weeks from now, college football stadiums across the country will be singing the song in the third quarter of games, just cause.
Absolutely. And I had to pull up the actual stat here. Mr. Brightside has 2 Guinness Book of World Records for its 416 week run on the UK single chart.
Crazy.
That is the longest by a group and overall leader in cumulative weeks.
Wow.
416 weeks. That's what, like 8 years.
I mean, that's insane. Because that song, and that song is everywhere now, and I'm happy for it.
And that's one of those songs I still don't get sick of. Mr. Brightside comes on, I'm still cranking it up.
Yeah, because it's so damn catchy and so like its own thing. Like that band was, they pull from a lot of places, but made it their own, especially those first couple of records. And I love that first record. I listen to it still.
The first 2 albums are absolutely phenomenal for sure.
So
Mr. Brightside, The Killers. What you got? You're pulling a Nate down.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch here.
Maybe I'll do this one.
It's kind of crazy to me that System of a Down's Chop Suey has 1 billion, but not crazy.
I was going to bring that up. I was a little surprised about that.
Yeah, Toto's Africa, also great.
A multi-generational tune, you know?
You Two, With or Without You, also great.
Amazing song.
Man. Smash Mouth All-Star, you know, that's another great one. I guess if I had to pick, I'm a little surprised the Stones only have Painted Black.
Yeah, that was really interesting to me.
I'll shout out Anthony's first favorite song, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, REM's Losing My Religion.
Yes, when I called him out for doing the wrong year on it. Love you, Twan.
You did. You put that right in the
I don't think he responded to it either.
No.
I think he's probably like, fuck you, dude.
That's why he's not here tonight, actually. Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to that guy's house.
So I was going to ask you about that. And I kind of thought that might be the reason.
No, it's not.
Twan, I'm so sorry, dude.
No. This is to keep the streak going. Yeah, no, we'll be back next week with Twan and I and maybe more. But we talked about that song during our mailbag because somebody asked, I think you actually, that was your question, what was your first favorite song?
Right, and mine was Living on a Prayer.
Yep.
And yours was?
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones.
Yeah, Kind of Gross.
Well, you're going to be singing along to that on Sunday.
Can't wait. Yeah, can't wait. So, but yeah, Losing My Religion. Great song. Stoked that REM has 1 billion stream song. I was a little surprised by it, but not shocked by the song.
Yeah.
Although Everybody Hurts, it's got to be close.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
No way.
I'm going to look it up.
You know, I love REM, but that song was just so sad.
It was. But I mean, people like to be sad sometimes.
Well, everybody hurts sometimes.
Oh, yeah. No, not nearly as close as I thought it would be. 436 million. Okay. So almost a full billion behind Losing My Religion.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That song was a game changer because people didn't know what it was about, and it was just weird, and the video was weird. Yep. I think it won the best video of the year at the MTV VMAs that year. Mm. And it was a pivotal point for REM for sure.
Shout out Marty from Sparks. He mentioned that video to us also after we put that episode out. So yeah. Good to have all our friends commenting on stuff. So if you like this episode, comment on it, please.
Yeah, comment and help these guys out. These guys are freaking awesome. I know I'm like the guest fill-in, but
unofficial fourth member. Sorry, Greg.
But you know, I do my social media for real estate and stuff like that. So I like it, comment on it, get involved, interact. Let's do this.
Be friends. You know, DM
let's just
us.
all be friends.
We've had some people come through over the last couple of weeks.
These guys are making $0 and 0 cents. They're doing it for fun.
Totally.
But just give it a little. If you like this podcast, smash that like button.
Oh yeah, ring that bell, baby. So yeah, I think you get more there. I think we could probably wrap it.
We can wrap it up.
Cool. So if you like this or any of the other stuff we've talked about over the course of time here, please, like Rob said, hit that like button. So put us a review. Get a review in there. We haven't had a review in forever. I know it takes time and people don't necessarily like doing that, but I'd rather someone who likes it review it for 3 sentences and tell us what we're doing right.
Take that 30 seconds,
please, and then go follow Rob at Realtor on the Radio. He'll be tagged in the show notes. Be tagged in the Instagram post, all that stuff. So yeah, follow him.
If you're looking to come to Maine and buy a house, give me a call.
He's the guy. I'm telling you. All right, peace, podheads.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to Podioslave. We are at Podioslave on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. Facebook, Podioslave Podcast. YouTube, Podioslave Podcast there. Email us at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you want to become a supporter, click on the link at the bottom of the episode and give us $1, give us $5. It keeps the lights on, keeps us going. We really appreciate that stuff. Thank you.